Thank you, Emily. Good morning. Welcome to Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lynchburg. We're glad you are here. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, whatever your age, or whomever you love, you are welcome here. As we work together for justice, compassion, and peace, we also acknowledge with humility that our buildings sit on Monacan land. My name is Kim Sinha. I've been a member of this congregation for the last 20 years. Seems impossible that it's been that long. If you are with us for the first time, we are glad you chose to be here this morning to participate in the service for this congregation that we love. If you would like to receive our monthly newsletter and Friday email updates, please fill out the virtual visitor card found on our website at uulynchburg.org under Sunday services. Or if you're here in the sanctuary, fill out the yellow card found in the back of a chair in front of you and place it in the offering basket during our offering. We offer a special welcome to Ainsley Bean of Our Daily Bread, which is our Generosity Sunday charity for August. As you know, all loose cash or any checks with Daily Bread or Generosity Sunday on the memo line will go to our Generosity Sunday charity to Daily Bread. A couple more announcements. Today you'll notice, maybe, the print's kind of small, that we're experimenting with closed captioning, which is added actually for my benefit, if not many others. I've grown accustomed to watching TV with closed captioning. I don't know if I'm a candidate for hearing aids yet, but that really helps sometimes because the volume fluctuates. Sometimes people don't speak so clearly, or the microphones don't always work as we'd like them to. So we have it here on our sanctuary screen. Of course, anybody watching on Zoom, and you can do it from your seat here, can also select the closed captioning option. So if it turns out this doesn't work so well because the print's kind of small, feel free to just zoom in here in the sanctuary as long as you're on mute, and then you'll have those closed captioning print. Let's see, I lost my place. Yeah, another announcement is we are bringing back our traditional Labor Day Sunday workday. So our all-member workday will be September 1st, that's in 2 weeks. Please join us from 9 to 2 or any time you are available. Lunch will be a potluck. If you are able, please stay in the sanctuary before coffee hour next week, August 25th, to help move all the chairs to the dais, as Mr. Berry will be cleaning the sanctuary floor later that week. The chairs will be placed back on the sanctuary floor as part of workday. If you have any questions, please see Stacy Yoder, chair of our Board of Trustees. And I think that's all the announcements. Are there any other announcements? All right then, now I invite us to release our worries about the world and our own lives as we enter this service by taking some slow, calming breaths.
It's wonderful to be together in person and through the airwaves. And so let's take a moment in the sorry. Is my mic on now? Oh, well, I'll just come over here then. The light was on. Okay, so those of us in here, the roomies, let's wave to our Zoomies. A lot of our Zoomies are out of town this week. And our Zoomies can wave to our roomies. It's wonderful to be gathered in spirit if not always in person. Let us now join together in our unison chalice sliding. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life. And let us rise in body or spirit as we share together hymn 113, Where is Our Holy Church? Does this work? No. This is the fun mic day. I'll just sit right here.
Good morning. Hopefully my microphone's working. Will everyone please hold up the bag that they brought with them today, if you have one? I have mine right here.
It's heavy.
Yes, mine is heavy.
I have to put it on my bag.
I know, they're so heavy. So, I invite you to show us the bags that you have brought. We carry bags with us throughout the week for many reasons. And if you have brought a bag with you and you would like to have it blessed today, when we describe the different types of bags, if you hear your kind of bag, you can bring it forward, you can send it forward with a helper, or if you just lift it up when you hear us describe it, someone will come and get it for you. And Terry's going to tell us some of the different types of bags you might bring with us.
Okay, some of us, and some of y'all can come up, take books and homework to school in bags.
Come on up if you have a homework book bag or a backpack.
Some of us bring our lunches to school or to work. How many people have lunch bags? I see some water bottles. Some of us take computers and other supplies to the places where we work. That's me, yes. Some kids carry overnight bags from one parent's house to their other parent's house and back again. Some people bring things like books or yarn and knitting needles, or maybe even some fidget things from in Drysdale Hall to places where we need to wait patiently. And some people have special bags for their dogs or cats that they carry around. How many people have one of those? Yes. And some people have special bags that carry medicine or special supplies to help them feel comfortable. So even when we are away with our bags, we're away from our UU congregation, we carry the heart of Unitarian Universalism with us wherever we go. So today, we bless all the different kinds of bags that go with us. We have lots of journeys to make, and so we carry these blessings with us.
This summer in religious education, we have spent so much time with our friend Jet Pig, who has come to help us learn about the values that are part of our UU faith. David's going to put up a picture on the screen in just a minute that shows what those values are, and helps us remember why they are important. Remembering that we carry our values with us, we're going to take a moment to bless these bags. And if you want to come forward, we will give you a blessing tag for your bag that you can carry with you all year long to remember the love and care that we have for all of you. And we will, if you're unable to come up and get one, if you'll just raise your hand, we will bring a tag out to you. So on that note, we bless these bags in the name of justice. May we always remember to act based on our values and to care about and help those who need us.
We bless our bags in the name of equity. May we remember that we are all inherently worthy, and each of us, including ourselves, has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion.
We bless these bags in the name of transformation. May we grow and transform during this year as we learn new ideas.
We bless these bags in the name of pluralism. May we always remember to honor and respect people for who they are, even when they're different.
We bless these bags in the name of interdependence. May we always feel connected to our church community, feel connected to the UU faith, and connected to all beings in nature.
We bless these bags in the name of generosity. May we remember to be generous with others and be grateful for all we receive. And of course, we bless these bags in the name of love. May we always remember that we are loved here at our UU congregation of Lynchburg. May we remember to love ourselves and to love each other. May we keep love at the center of all we do.
These charms are kind of hard to see if you're far away, but they carry a lot of love in these tiny little jet pigs to help you remember all year long that the values are with you. And it is a flying pig, just like our jet pig, to remind you that love propels us forward into the future. May these charms remind us of the support of this community. Growing and changing can be hard. So when times are hard, hold this charm and remember that we can rely on the people in our congregation and find strength in our shared values. We bring our values wherever we go. Our bags might not look any different or feel any different, but the next time we use them, I hope we will remember that everyone here has added to our blessings.
And as you pack your bag with all the particular tools you might need to do your daily work and learning, think about the blessings and values you bring with you from our congregation. Amen and blessed be. And let's just take a moment. If there's some grown-ups
Right here, okay?
or people young at heart who would like, is this okay?
Yes, absolutely. Let me get one for Emily.
Emily needs one.
Emily definitely needs one. Yes.
Well, you can take that off and swap it for. Okay, and pass one to.
And while Terry finishes passing them out to the adults, I think the kids can go ahead and sing out to our class. And if you
We're so glad to have Ainsley Bean with us this morning to say a few words about our daily bread. They're some of our closest neighbors that make a difference in the lives of people in Lynchburg. So thank you for being here and come on up.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Ainsley Bean. I am the Director of Development for Lynchburg Daily Bread. I have been with the organization for going on 4 years now. I myself found myself unemployed during COVID and thought, move back to my hometown, let me find meaning in this crazy part of life. And 4 years later, I have run the meal program, left to have a daughter, and then came back to fundraise. So I find such a high value and a big appreciation for not only what we do for the community, but what for this organization does for individuals like myself, for volunteers that come and spend their time with us, and for the community and all of the donors that provide and have allowed us to keep our doors open for 40 years now. We were founded in 1982 as a traditional soup kitchen. So we did have the fellowship, and we had volunteers come every day and serve meals in person. As we all know, 2020 changed a lot of the ways organizations and businesses had to operate, but we didn't skip a beat. We kept our doors open and we just went to go meal service. So fast forward 4 years later, and we're still serving in that method. We see on the upwards of 150 to 200 people a day. And in 2023, we served nearly 250,000 meals. So that number is pretty profound given that it's nearly quadrupled since 2019. And the way that we're able to do this, we're right up the street. If you all don't know where we are, we're on Clay Street. We're very small and mighty, but those relationships that we have harbored with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank that allows us to receive donations from all of the grocery stores in the area. So think all of your Krogers, all of your Food Lions, Sam's Club, Target, and about 8,000 pounds weekly we receive in food that would otherwise go to waste, which that alone is its own epidemic, the food waste that we are able to combat. in that tiny building. And what we can't serve to our guests, we put together and give to other local area organizations. So Miriam's House, the Bedford YMCA, we worked with Camp Kumbaya, and the Miller Park Pool Program. We started to send healthy snacks so that children who otherwise would go without anything in hand have something to be offered while they're enjoying their day at the pool. A little bit about our daily operations. So we're there around 6 a.m. We have a small staff, about 18 to 20 people. That includes a driving staff, our kitchen staff, and then our leadership that oversees the whole operation. But the main thing is we couldn't do it without the help of our volunteers. Every single day of the year, 365 holidays, everything, are run with 7 to 10 volunteers a day. And those are people giving their time, giving of themselves, and understanding, that it's bigger than us. Hunger is, we're not solving world hunger, but what we're able to do is make sure that we're giving a little bit of relief and peace to those who are experiencing some real hardship. We're seeing all walks of life. It's not just what you would think someone maybe living on the streets or chronic homelessness or someone in the poverty. But we're seeing everybody. Grandparents who are taking care of their grandchildren, single parents, mental health individuals suffering, people on Social Security, and those who thought they were set to live out the last chapter of their lives are finding themselves in some real financial distress. So what we're able to do with the support of congregations, our community, and those who believe that everyone deserves a hot meal, it's really profound. So I thank you for being involved. Thank you for having me. And if you'd like more information, I brought some. We also have a website, all of those good things, and would love to see you over on Clay Street if you ever have the time. Would love to have you and show you what we've been doing. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ainsley. Each Sunday, we create a sacred space to share the joys and the concerns that are part of our lives. And thanks for the gift of life, for the wonder and beauty of this world, with all its joys and its sorrows. We give thanks for connections in our individual families and in the human family, the multi-generational aspects of what it means to care for one another. We also express our concern about the welfare of those in our community who are unhoused, who are hungry, who lack medical care. May we be people who are ardent in our support of agencies like Our Daily Bread and Interfaith Outreach and Parkview Mission that help so many people in the Lynchburg area. And our concern also reaches out to spread around the world, thinking particularly about parts of Africa, Gaza, and Israel, where so many children are suffering and families, where people live in fear. May we work with people of goodwill, not only in our country, but other countries, to make a difference so that hope can remain alive, so that peace and justice well up in our hearts and the hearts of all human beings. This we ask in the name of all that is sacred. Amen. Every year, Unitarian Universalists gather to discuss important matters, to pass policies, to find new wisdom that emerges from people and congregations in our faith tradition. And this morning, Kim Senna and Joan Lewis Yoder and Makana Morris will share some of their experiences, because it's impossible for anybody to go to everything and experience all the options at General Assembly. So Kim, are you going to start, or is Joan going to start? Joan's going to start, okay.
Hi. So General Assembly, or GA, is an annual gathering of UUs from across America and from international member congregations It's where congregations come together to explore important topics, make connections, and conduct the business of the Unitarian Universalist Association. So this year's GA was virtual. At GA, we attended the workshops, lectures, discussion sessions, listening sessions. And this year, they had something new that were cohort groups that continued to meet together to explore more in depth some topics like disability justice, stewardship, classism, anti-racism and multiculturalism, climate justice, and then they even had a cohort group that was specifically for small congregations, so that might be useful for us to check out. I felt like the cohort that I attended, it was really hard to choose. I chose the multiculturalism and racism one, and I felt like that kind of really set the framework for how I experienced GA. It was really powerful. I walked away from all of this with a list of books to read. So a couple recommendations that I have not read this one yet, but the speaker was really powerful. The speaker and author is Rashid Khalidi. He's a professor from Columbia, and his current book is The 100 Years' War on Palestine. And then the other book that I'm more than halfway through, and it's really good, is Loving Our Own Bones, and that is by a Georgetown professor of Jewish Studies and Disability Studies, Julia Watts-Belzer. She delivered this year's WARE lecture, which was a real highlight of GA, and if that becomes available online, I would definitely recommend it. It was really powerful. So all of those parts of GA, the cohorts, the lectures, and the workshops, they're really exciting. They give you a lot of opportunities to grow and to connect with people. And it was really powerful, too, to learn that fellow UUs, they're inspired by our shared values, and they're really doing big work out there to live love in the world. So that was awesome to see. The business portions of GA, all the debates on bylaws and electing officers and stuff, that's a little bit less inspiring. But it was intense. So there was a lot of debate this year, and people have very strong, very passionate feelings about it. So the GA business meetings are huge delegate meetings. It's like thousands of people on Zoom together or watching online streaming and in these chat rooms. And what you do there is you listen to proposals for business resolutions, changes to bylaws, and the actions of immediate witness, which are our calls to take action on a justice topic. The big focus of this year was whether we were going to adopt the rewritten and amended Article 2, so all of the jet pig stuff, and where really the definition of what it means to be a UU that was debated and passed this year. So there are a lot of changes in there, but Terry and everyone else have been talking about that for 2 years, so I think if you care about it, you probably already know. And if you're new, there are a lot of resources and people who would be happy to talk to you about it and explain. You can read about it, a summary of all the things that were passed and changed in the magazine UU World online, and all of the GA meetings are actually available to watch on YouTube if you want more information about it. What I wanted to focus on right now is the debate about the amendments, because I had multiple times that experience of thinking, oh, well, yeah, I know what I think about this. I know how I'm going to vote. And then listening to people and going, oh, I hadn't thought about that. And having my mind changed by people, which is always really fun when you can see things that's complicated and it's conflicting, but I like that experience of getting my mind changed, and I had that happen a few times. So here is one example of that. One of our values that we've adopted is equity, and the wording of it is, we declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. One proposed amendment asked us to add the wording at the end. Equity calls us to listen, understand, respect, and respond to one another. So great, I thought. A call to listen and respect, that seemed like a slam dunk, given what I think I know about UUs. But there were a lot of concerns about this, and the more I listened, the more I questioned what I had come in there thinking. The good arguments, they talked about how reminders to listen and respect have been used to silence some voices, and that while listening and respecting are important, when somebody is being harmed by another person's words, telling them, well, you need to listen, that is harmful too. Another criticism was that the values should be calls to action. Right now, it ends with, we covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money. That's action. And to add this, it would say, okay, action, and then listen. So they felt like people were saying that that was too passive, and they didn't want our call to action to be buried. I had a hard time with this because I have been spending a lot of time, like over the past 10 years, thinking about, oh yeah, I do need to listen. I do need to be more open to perspectives that are not my own. But that's an individual action. And our bylaws aren't written for individuals. They are written for everyone, for our collective. And our collective's job isn't to listen. Our collective's job is to take action for the cause of equity. The amendment to include listening failed, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to understand it differently. As a lifelong UU, I generally feel pretty secure in my UU-ness, like I know what we're about and I know where we stand on things. I've always felt like I know I'm among my people when I walk into any UU congregation, but that can lead me to failure because I don't recognize that I'm just one kind of UU. There are so many different ways to view our faith, so many different lenses to bring to it, and I don't want to come into a UU congregation and feel like I'm with my people. I want us to be a home to everyone who needs us. When they enter, I want them to know that they're with their people. GA was a call for that kind of inclusion in all forms, a call to recognize and combat racism, ableism, transphobia, and bias. I was glad to have a chance to grow with that and to see that our faith is not stagnant. We grow and change. That's what Article 2 is about. It's moving us forward, not rewriting who we are, but saying this is who we are now, and it's going to carry us forward. It's a living tradition.
Well, full disclosure, I did not attend GA this year, but I did last year, and I offered to help with the service. So I've been asked to talk about two things. One is just how GA functions, and Joan gave you a pretty good perspective on that. It's the annual gathering of UUs, and in addition to conducting official business, it's a way to join in community, explore your faith, the theological underpinnings, and emphasizes the association's mission, values, and principles. It is the largest gathering of UUs annually worldwide. Now, it can be kind of expensive to register for this and then travel to it. So recognizing that churches of all denominations post-COVID are struggling financially, and particularly small congregations such as ours, that expense is quite burdensome on congregations. So I think they've decided every other year to do it virtually to ease that expense. And so this year's GA was virtual. That's to increase accessibility, the number of UUs who can attend, promote the core value of democracy by increasing attendance, and promotes environmental sustainability since delegates aren't required to travel and consume resources. This GA had 2,757 credentialed delegates. Now, anybody can attend the UUGA, but only delegates who are nominated by congregations. When I attended last year, I was a delegate, can vote on matters of business. From 734 congregations from 50 states, Washington, D.C., Canada, U.S. Virgin Islands, Mexico, France, and the Philippines. And then this was interesting, and I hope we'll do this the next time it's virtual, is many congregations held watch parties where they streamed the online GA together. And if the format was like when I attended, the evening was like a mini worship service with lots of great music and singing, and you just really felt in the moment. So I hope that we'll try to make that happen. Now, the reason I was picked for this is because it dovetails with the call to action that I spoke on in the end of June. So at this year's assembly, they passed a business resolution with 92% approval to approve the resolution titled Embracing Transgender, Non-Binary, Intersex, and Gender Diverse People is a Fundamental Expression of UU Religious Values. So business resolutions are one mechanism by which UUs express their religious beliefs, and once passed, require the UUA to implement as part of the association's work. The passage of this resolution solidifies and strengthens the UUA's ministry to and with transgender, non-binary, and intersex members of our UU communities and congregations. And many of these commitments and programs are amplified in the resolution's recommended actions. The resolution recognizes a key tenet of free exercise of religion is to be able to live one's life authentically. The ability to live ever more authentically as one's true self is central to a lifelong journey towards spiritual fulfillment, the resolution says. This imperative and the belief that love is at the center of Unitarian Universalism as a faith calls us to fully embrace equity for transgender, non-binary, intersex, and gender diverse people in our congregations and the wider world. The resolution emphasizes the challenges and threats that transgender, non-binary, intersex individuals face today, including the hundreds of now oppressive laws across dozens of states and countries that are targeting reproductive justice and transgender people across their lifespans. The resolution highlights additional risks to transgender youth, something I take particular interest in, giving my interest in the local school division, whose ability to access gender-affirming medical care is under threat in the United States and beyond. The resolution urges UU congregations to honor and defend and celebrate the spectrum of gender identity and to affirm that commitment through actions. And here's a few of the actions. You can read the full resolution by going to the UUA website. First is condemning all anti-transgender legislation, demanding the repeal of anti-transgender laws, and working to block additional such bills. Virginia, for example, is one of several states throughout the nation who have gone to court to place an injunction on enforcement of the updated Title IX law that has expanded to include transgender people under the umbrella of protected class for sexual discrimination, gender discrimination. Another one, partnering with local and state organizations led by transgender, non-binary, intersex people to advocate for their needs and interests. Supporting organizations that help people relocate or access health care, including across state lines, such as Pink Haven Coalition. There's more about this organization at the UUA website. Directly supporting member congregations and communities of the UUA engaged in this ministry in oppressive states and communities. I would count Virginia among them. We're not as bad as some states, but depending on how the election works out, we could be. Participating in Uplift Ministries programs. Those are aimed at advocating again for transgender, gender nonconforming and such. There's more information about that at the website. Amplifying campaigns for bodily autonomy, such as Side with Love's Uplift Action Campaign. And I hope this is something that we can do, participating in the Welcoming Congregation Renewal Program. Those of you who haven't been with us for the last 15 years or so, we have this plaque over here that says we are a welcoming congregation. To earn that plaque, we had to go through several months of intensive congregational discussions, lessons, material that really helped the congregation open up and feel safe about discussing things related to, this was mostly towards lesbian and gay issues, but now, of course, as all those issues have evolved and society has moved forward, and now the resistance is moving to transgender people, it's time to reevaluate and renew and bring it to people who are new to UU in the last 10 or 15 years. It's a wonderful program and really, I think, helped a lot of people understand things from a different perspective. And then finally, as I've called for action, affirming our commitment locally through votes and investment of the congregation. And again, you can learn more about Pink Haven Coalition, Uplift Ministries, Uplift Action Campaign, and the Welcoming Congregation Renewal Program at uua.org.
Makana?
So I have been very lucky in having the opportunity to attend many UUA General Assemblies since my first one way back in 1981, a long time ago. I have not attended all since then, but I've gotten to go to many of them, most in person, but over the last 5 years, I've attended virtually. And the good news is, virtual GA has been improving every year. Even in the virtual mode, I find it inspiring to be with so many fellow UUs from across the country. This year, in addition to the plenary business sessions and other major programs, I was especially involved in 2 ways. I signed up for the Small Congregations Cohort Group, which you already heard a little bit about, which met each morning for about an hour and a half. And I also had a part in creating an online video workshop on multi-platform ministry. The Small Congregation Cohort Group was very well designed. We had time to talk in small groups with fellow UUs from small congregations across the country to share our successes and our challenges. There were also presentations by UUA regional staff on specific aspects of small congregational life, which we all encounter. And one gem I came away with was a new way to approach the continuing challenge of volunteer involvement. Everyone has busy lives, and so the old model of having committees which meet every week just is no longer viable. We were encouraged to look at the community life of our congregations as ways of experiencing joy, and meaning. We need to break down projects and programs into time-limited, clear, and doable parts that can fit into a variety of individual lifestyles and schedules. For instance, there may be a group of 2 to 3 people for whom creative planning of a program is the thing they like to do, and another 1 or 2 actually really enjoy coordinating logistics for events, and others who are doers, offering their hands and energy at the time of the event. All of these folks are needed. No one is overburdened, and our congregations as communities succeed. The other major way I was involved with GA this year was helping with one portion of an online workshop, The Power of Multi-Platform Ministry. This workshop came out of a voluntary group which formed after GA 2023, when quite a few of us had attended a workshop on Zoom ministry. This year, our group worked on ideas to encourage more congregations to really take seriously and attend to the potential and power of multi-platform ministry. Now, our congregation already has a good start with our Zoom Sunday services and coffee hours, as well as having quite a few groups and activities which are available both in person and via Zoom. And our congregational meetings and other meetings are also available via Zoom. But there's always ways we can improve, deepen, and expand our Zoom ministry and outreach. Multi-platform ministry is the loving inclusion of remote participants in all church activities. Our online participants are precious. We know that as a community each Sunday when we say hello and goodbye to our Zoomies. Caring for our remote participants in ministry involves inclusion, pastoral care, and prophetic witness. We want to be able to include folks who are looking for our liberal progressive values, but may live too far away to be able to attend every week. We know there are many folks in our geographic area who may fit that profile, who live just a little bit too far away. We want to support folks struggling with oppression and justice challenges in their nearby localities. We want to find ways to be present with them, especially during times of local crisis. That's living out our UU values. We know that our multi-platform ministry allows more people to come to the table, enabling many who might not because of health, distance, or in person or online. I want to find a time to share the video workshop which we created. It includes some pictures of our congregation, including a great picture of Molly and Pat. Early in September, we'll be offering a time on Zoom for input and ideas on what's working well, what we might add, and how we can do more outreach. UU General Assembly is a wonderful event offering insights, ideas, and inspirations. And I hope you will consider attending sometime either in person or online. Thank you.
Thank y'all for sharing some of the wide-ranging experiences that people have during General Assembly. Our closing hymn this morning is hymn number 145. And this is a hymn that was created during the merger of the Unitarians and the Universalists. So it seemed like an appropriate hymn for this morning. So I invite us to rise in body or spirit. As our service draws to a close, we extinguish the flame of our chalice as we share together these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And so, Zoomies, can you say, wave farewell to folks in the sanctuary, wave goodbye to the, so Larry and Ann, y'all can like start another 65 years. Won't that be fun? Our closing blessing is a historic quote from our forebear, Theodore Parker. Be ours a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space, its shrine, the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual, works of love, its profession of faith, divine living. Go in love and go in peace.